Today we will see about Avogadro hypothesis. Before that, last class we saw about relative molecular mass, classification of molecule, and in yesterday's class we saw about how to calculate the relative molecular mass. So today we will learn about this Avogadro's hypothesis. In 1811, Avogadro he framed a hypothesis based on the number of molecules present in equal volume of gases, number of molecules in equal volume of gases at similar condition of temperature and pressure, equal volume of gases at similar conditions of temperature and pressure, similar conditions of temperature and pressure. We know that Amedeo Avogadro is an Italian scientist. He gave this Avogadro number. What is Avogadro number? N is equal to 6.023 into 10 power 23. So here he framed a hypothesis. This Avogadro hypothesis is nothing but equal volume of all gases under similar conditions of temperature and pressure contain same number of molecules. So this is known as Avogadro hypothesis. Equal volume of all gases under similar conditions of temperature and pressure contains equal number of molecules. Equal volume of all gases under similar conditions of temperature and pressure. Similar conditions of temperature and pressure. Conditions of temperature and pressure contain equal number of molecules. So this is known as Avogadro's hypothesis. Equal number of molecules. So this is known as what? Avogadro's hypothesis. So let us consider the volume of gases present in equal volume of gases under similar conditions of temperature and pressure. For example, if one volume of some gas is present or n volume of some gas is present. So n volume of gas which contains n molecules. Which contains n molecules. So this Avogadro hypothesis can be given as, or this is mathematically represented as V is proportional to N. V is proportional to N, or it can be equal to V is equal to constant into N. V is equal to constant into N. So this is how we can represent the Avogadro hypothesis. Now let us consider an example, or we will explain the Avogadro hypothesis using an example. For example, hydrogen, formation of hydrogen chloride gas. Hydrogen gas plus Cl2 gas, it forms hydrogen chloride gas. Hydrogen chloride gas. So here you can see one volume plus one volume. One volume plus one volume, it forms two volume of HCl. One volume plus one volume, it forms two volume of HCl. Or n volume, or n moles, or n molecule. So n molecule plus n molecule, I told that V is proportional to n. So n molecule plus n molecule will form 2n molecule. 2n molecule of the gases. Now if n is equal to 1, then what will happen? One molecule plus one molecule, one molecule plus one molecule, it forms two molecules of gases. Two molecules of gases. So here, one mole of hydrogen combines with one mole of chlorine to form 2 moles of HCl. If half molecule, then half molecule plus half molecule, half molecule plus half molecule, it will form 1 molecule of HCl. So here from this we can see that the molecules can be subdivided. So here from these equations you will see that the molecules can be subdivided. Molecules can be subdivided. Molecules can be subdivided. And this is in agreement with the Dalton's atomic theory. So we have confirmed the Avogadro's hypothesis. So this is in agreement with the Dalton's atomic theory. So what is Avogadro hypothesis? Equal volume of all gases under similar conditions of temperature and pressure contain equal number of molecules. Now this can be explained using a mathematical relation that is V is proportional to N or V is equal to constant into N. Now we can explain it using an example. For example, hydrogen gas reacts with chlorine gas to form hydrogen chloride gas. So one volume of H2 plus one volume of Cl2, it forms two volume of HCl. Now if V is proportional to N, then N molecule of H2 plus N molecule of Cl2 will form 2N molecule of HCl. So this question is very important. And this is nothing but the relation between vapor density and relative molecular mass. So this can be asked in 5-mark question, and this derivation is very important. You have to write and learn, because this question will be definitely asked in your common examination. So here, relative molecular mass is nothing but mass of certain volume of gas or vapor divided by mass of one atom of hydrogen. That is, this relative molecular mass is expressed in what? Hydrogen scale. And then this vapor density is nothing but mass of certain volume of gas or vapor to the mass of certain volume of this hydrogen. And according to Avogadro hypothesis, the volume is directly proportional to this N, that is number of molecule. So this vapor density will be equal to mass of N molecule of gas or vapor divided by mass of N molecule of hydrogen. So cancelling this N, which is common, we will get mass of one molecule of gas or vapor divided by mass of one molecule of hydrogen. And since hydrogen is diatomic, two atoms are present, so I might write this equation as mass of one molecule of gas or vapor divided by mass of two atoms of hydrogen. So when you see the relative molecular mass, what is this relative molecular mass? It is nothing but the ratio between the mass of certain molecule of gas or vapor divided by what? One atom of hydrogen, mass of one atom of hydrogen. So this equation can be written as relative molecular mass is equal to mass of one molecule of gas or vapor divided by 2 into mass of one atom of hydrogen. When you compare this 4 and 5 equation, you will see what? Vapor density is equal to relative molecular mass. Then on cross multiplying, 2 will come to this side. So 2 into Vd is equal to relative molecular mass, or relative molecular mass Rm is equal to 2 into Vd. So this is a very important question. This can be asked in 5-mark question. Now we will see the calculation of molar mass. How to calculate this molar mass already we have learned, but I will give some examples. We will calculate for water, carbon dioxide and calcium phosphate. Before calculating, you must know the formula. For example, water, the formula is H2O. So here, how will you calculate this molar mass? That is molar mass calculation. So how will you calculate this molar mass? Already I told that there are two hydrogens present. 2 into what is the atomic mass of hydrogen? 1. So 2 into 1 plus oxygen, only one oxygen is present. So what is the atomic mass of oxygen? 1 into 16. When you add, you will get the molar mass of water. 2 plus 16, which is equal to 18 gram. It is expressed in gram, is known as gram molar mass. Then carbon dioxide. How to calculate carbon dioxide? Here 1 C is present. Atomic mass of carbon is 12. So 12 into 1 plus oxygen, 2 oxygen is present. So 2 into atomic mass is 16. So it will be equal to 12 plus 32. So 44 gram. So the molar mass of this carbon dioxide is what? 44. Then calcium phosphate, Ca3PO4 twice. The formula for calcium phosphate is Ca3PO4 twice. Here 3 calcium is present. Before that, the atomic mass of this calcium it is 40, phosphorus it is 30, and oxygen it is 16. Now we will calculate for calcium phosphate. 3 calcium is present, so 3 into calcium will be 40 plus phosphorus, 2 phosphorus is present. 2 phosphorus is present, so atomic mass 2 into atomic mass of phosphorus is 30 plus what? Here 4 oxygen, but twice, so 4 into 8 oxygen. So 8 into 16. So 8 into 16 how much? So 40 into 3 will be 120 plus 60 plus how much it will be? 64 plus 64, it will be 128. So 128 plus 120 plus 60, it will be equal to how much? 308. So the molar mass of calcium phosphate is 308 gram. The next we will see the calculation of this percentage or percentage composition. We are going to calculate the percentage of sulfur in H2SO4. So this is the book example problem. You have to do the exercise problem. See the percentage of sulfur in H2SO4. H2SO4 is nothing but sulfuric acid. H2SO4 is nothing but what? Sulfuric acid. Before doing that, we will calculate the molar mass of sulfuric acid. So here, the molar mass of H2SO4 will calculate. So here, 2 hydrogens present. So 2 into 1 plus sulfur, it is 32. So 1 into 32 plus 4 oxygen is present. So 4 into 16. So it will be equal to 2 plus 32 plus 64. So it will be equal to how much? 98. So the molar mass of sulfuric acid is 98 gram. We have to calculate the percentage of sulfur in sulfuric acid. So how will we calculate the mass, atomic mass of sulfur divided by molar mass of the sulfuric acid? So atomic mass is how much? 32 divided by 98. It will be equal to 32.65%. So here the molar mass of this sulfur in sulfuric acid will be 32.65%. So this is the molar mass of water, the sulfuric acid. So here we have learned, we are going to complete this lesson. Except some of the problem, we are going to complete this lesson, and the problem we will see in the next class. And this lesson it involves atoms and molecules, the postulates of modern atomic theory, then about the difference between atoms and molecules, classification of molecule, Avogadro hypothesis, then the relation between vapor density and molecular mass. So in this lesson I want you to study and write the relation between vapor density and molecular mass. This is a very important question. Relation between vapor density and relative molecular mass. VD is nothing but vapor density and relative molecular mass. And also I want you to study postulates of modern atomic theory. This is a detailed question. Postulates of modern atomic theory. So this is your assignment or the homework. So modern atomic theory. So these two questions you please learn and write. This will be very important. It is not enough you listen to the class. You have to study the everyday portions also. Write and learn. You have to write and learn chemistry. So you write the relation between vapor density and relative molecular mass that I taught today. And the last question is postulates of modern atomic theory. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you.